Most people believe heat becomes dangerous only when it feels unbearable, when you're sweating heavily, gasping for relief. But some of the most dangerous heat-related emergencies I've seen happen quietly, in people who never felt that hot at all. I'm Dr. Eleanor Hayes, an internal medicine physician, and after more than 20 years of treating patients just like you, I've learned that heat doesn't always announce itself the way we expect. And that's exactly why so many mistakes go unnoticed until they become serious. Today I want to share one simple idea I use with almost every patient during summer months. I call it the heat debt, the gap between how much heat your body is absorbing and how much it's able to release. Small mistakes widen that gap quietly, hour after hour. And by the time symptoms show up, the debt may already be significant. Understanding this idea helps every mistake we're about to cover make a lot more sense. Let's go through them. 1. Waiting until you feel thirsty to drink water. Here's something that surprises almost every patient I share it with. Most people assume thirst is a reliable early warning system, that the body will clearly signal when it needs fluids. But research suggests that thirst often lags behind actual fluid needs, especially in older adults, whose sense of thirst naturally becomes less sensitive with age. By the time thirst kicks in, mild dehydration may already be underway. Why does this matter so much during a heat wave? Because dehydration reduces the body's ability to sweat effectively, and sweating is one of the primary ways your body releases heat. This directly widens that heat debt we talked about. Think of your body like a car radiator. If the coolant runs low, the engine can't release heat efficiently, even if everything else seems to be working fine. This is why doctors often recommend drinking water on a schedule during hot weather, not waiting for thirst, but staying a step ahead of it. Stay with me. The next mistake is one most people don't even realize they're making. 2. Assuming fans alone are enough in extreme heat. Here's a pattern interrupt most people don't expect. A fan doesn't cool a room, it moves air. Many people rely on fans as their main defense during a heat wave, assuming moving air is equivalent to cooling air. But research shows that once air temperature rises above a certain threshold, generally around 95 degrees Celsius, 35 degrees Celsius, fans can actually make things worse by blowing hot air across the skin, increasing heat absorption rather than reducing it. This is a critical distinction, especially for older adults or anyone with limited access to air conditioning. A fan can feel refreshing, while doing very little to actually reduce your heat debt once outdoor and indoor temperatures reach extreme levels. Picture standing in front of an oven, with the door open, and someone pointing a fan at you. The air moves, but the heat is still there, still being absorbed. During extreme heat warnings, seeking out air-conditioned spaces, even briefly, like a library, mall, or designated cooling center, becomes far more protective than relying on a fan alone. 3. Continuing normal activity levels during peak heat hours. This next mistake is one I see often, especially in people who pride themselves on staying active. Many assume that if they've always been active outdoors, their body will simply adjust to the heat the way it always has. But research suggests that the body's ability to regulate temperature can decline with age, and certain medications, like diuretics or some blood pressure medications, can further affect how well the body manages heat and fluid balance. This means an activity level that felt manageable in the past may place more strain on the body's cooling system than it used to, without any obvious warning. Think of your body's cooling system like brakes on a car. They still work, but they may not respond quite as quickly or efficiently as they once did. Adjusting your driving, in this case your activity level, is what keeps things safe. During peak heat hours, typically late morning through late afternoon, shifting outdoor activities to early morning or evening, and pacing yourself, helps keep that heat debt from building too quickly. Stay with me. The next mistake is one of the most overlooked in heat-related emergencies. 4. Not recognizing the early signs of heat exhaustion. Here's what most people don't have time to learn until it's urgent. Many assume heat-related illness looks dramatic from the very start. Collapsing, severe confusion, an obvious emergency. But heat exhaustion often begins subtly: heavy sweating, weakness, dizziness, nausea, or a headache. These symptoms are easy to dismiss as simply feeling tired or not sleeping well. This matters enormously because heat exhaustion, if unaddressed, can progress to heat stroke, a medical emergency where the body loses its ability to cool itself at all. Heat stroke can involve confusion, a rapid heartbeat, hot and dry or flushed skin, and requires immediate medical attention. If you or someone else shows signs of confusion, a very high body temperature, or stops sweating despite the heat, this is an emergency. Call for emergency medical help right away. Think of early heat exhaustion symptoms, like a check engine light. Easy to ignore in the moment, but a clear signal that something needs attention before it becomes a bigger problem. Recognizing these early signs, in yourself and in loved ones, especially older relatives, is one of the most protective things you can do during a heat wave. 5. Underestimating risk. Because it's just a warm day. Save this one. It's the insight that surprises my patients the most. Many people associate danger with extreme, record-breaking heat alone. If it's not the hottest day of the year, it doesn't feel like something to take seriously. But research suggests that even moderately warm days, when combined with high humidity, poor airflow, or lack of air conditioning, can meaningfully increase heat-related risk, especially for older adults, people with chronic health conditions, and those on certain medications. This is where the heat debt concept becomes most important. It's not just about how hot a single day feels, it's about cumulative exposure. Several warm days in a row, without adequate cooling or hydration, can quietly build risk even if no single day feels extreme. Picture a bathtub filling slowly. No single drop of water seems dangerous, but without checking on it, the tub eventually overflows. This is exactly why heat warnings apply broadly, not just on the hottest day of the year, but across stretches of warm weather that add up. The insight I saved for last. Here's the surprising truth beneath everything we've covered today. Heat-related emergencies are rarely caused by one dramatic mistake. They're usually the result of several small ones stacking quietly, skipping water here, pushing through activity there, dismissing early symptoms as just tiredness. Understanding your personal heat debt means recognizing that small, proactive choices, repeated consistently, are what keep that debt from ever becoming dangerous. Smart questions to ask your doctor. If this resonated with you, here are 3 questions worth asking. Do any of my current medications affect how my body regulates temperature or fluid balance in the heat? Based on my health history, am I at higher risk during heat waves, and what precautions should I take? What early warning signs should I watch for that mean I need medical attention right away? If this helped you, please subscribe. Every week I share research-backed health insights you won't find in a rushed 10-minute doctor's visit. Heat waves don't have to be frightening. With a little awareness and a few simple habits, you can stay safe, stay comfortable, and keep that heat debt from ever building against you. This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace advice from your personal physician.